Spring is finally here, and that means birds are on the move. Whether they're returning from migration or looking for the perfect nesting spot, now is the best time to attract them to your feeders. But if you've put out food and just aren't seeing many birds yet, don't worry. In this video, I'll share 5 simple tips to help birds find your feeders faster and keep them coming back all season long. Let's jump right in. Tip number 1, choose the right feeder placement. The first and most important tip, put your feeder in the right spot. Birds feel safest when they have quick access to cover like trees, shrubs, or tall plants. Placing your feeder near natural shelter makes it easier for them to stop by without worrying about predators. But be careful. If a feeder is too close to dense branches, squirrels might take over, or larger birds might crowd out the smaller ones. A good rule of thumb is to place feeders about 10 to 15 feet from trees or shrubs, close enough for safety, but not so close that it becomes a squirrel highway. And if birds still aren't showing up, try moving your feeder to a more open, visible area where birds can easily spot it from the air. Tip 2. Offer fresh and seasonal food. In the spring, birds need high-energy foods to fuel their migration and nesting season. If you're still using the same seed mix from winter, it might be time for a refresh. Offer a variety of foods to attract different species. Black oil sunflower seeds, Niger seed, and safflower are always great choices. But in spring, you could also add suet mealworms for birds raising young, nectar for returning hummingbirds and orioles, and fruit pieces like orange slices to attract colorful migrants. And here's an important tip. Always check your feeders after rainy days. Spring moisture can cause seed to clump, spoil, or grow mold, which birds will avoid. Cleaning and refilling your feeders regularly keeps birds coming back for fresh, safe food. Tip number 3, make your feeders stand out. Birds rely on sight to find food, so help them notice your feeder faster. A bright, colorful feeder, especially red, yellow, or orange, can catch a bird's eye. This works especially well for hummingbirds, goldfinches, and orioles. Another great trick, add movement near your feeder. Birds are naturally drawn to moving water, so placing a small fountain, dripper, or even a hanging ribbon nearby can grab their attention and lead them straight to the food. Tip number 4, provide a water source. Speaking of water, having a fresh water source is just as important as food. Birds need clean water for drinking and bathing, especially in spring as they recover from migration and prepare for nesting. Adding a bird bath, fountain, or even a shallow dish of water near your feeder can make your yard a one-stop shop for birds. Plus, moving water prevents mosquitoes and stays cleaner longer. And if you're in an area where nights still get chilly in early spring, a heated bird bath can make a big difference. Tip number 5, be patient and consistent. And finally, patience is key. If your feeders are new or recently moved, it can take birds days or even weeks to find them. But once a few birds start visiting, others will follow, especially if they see a reliable food source. Keep your feeders full, refresh the food often, and avoid making big changes. Birds are creatures of habit, and if they know they can count on your feeder, they'll keep coming back. By following these 5 easy tips, you'll be well on your way to attracting more birds this spring. Have you noticed any new bird visitors in your yard yet? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more bird feeding tips all season long. Thanks for watching, and happy bird feeding.